by providing the incentives for recruitment. This is a we issue, a we opportunity, rather than an us and them framing. What should we agree on as issues and goals that we all unite in caring about? This is an opportunity for collective ownership of reform in the police bureau and in our city. We must listen to the collective voices of our community and seek to find common ground, common agreements on strategies that will promote reform within our police.
Yeah! Say no!
Oh my...
No!
What the fuck?
Boys, they silenced you too.
Yeah! Yeah, that's the power there, baby! No!
Hey, can you call or something?
Oh, they don't want us to hear.
Just say no!
Oh my god!
Shut your...
This isn't fucking public. Wow! We can't even hear that.
You're not gonna let us hear her vote?
No. And it took the captions off too.
We need to have incentives for new recruits to come to the bureau from new idealistic.
Yeah, but what'd they say in the process?
That reflects both the vision and the demographics of our communities. The Albino Ministerial Alliance, the NAACP, mental health care advocates, the League of Women Voters, and many individual and group share a long history of advocating on police reform. I've listened to the collective and individual voices from the community advising me on this vote, and I agree, Portland City Government does need to put our own house in order. And still, I refuse to stay stuck in an adversarial position. I was elected with public campaign financing. I was a community activist for 15 years before I began to aspire to elected office. As a city commissioner, I own the responsibility to acknowledge the problems and find solutions. Police services should be about we, not us and them. We all own our own part in making that value the new reality in Portland. So considering all of that, today I'm voting based on the cost of delay and the cost of ratification. Safety costs, the long-term public good conduct costs. But the two choices, approve or reject, in my assessment, the cost of delay is more compelling than daunting. 65 vacancies in the police bureau, 21 more officers due to
Can't wait fucking a couple months.
ratify the contract with its agreement on recruitment incentives. We're likely to issue 150 officers by the end of fiscal year next June. This is the fact that we are not allowed to give recruitment and entry-level benefits without the consent of the union in opening the contract and agreeing to the package of pay raises for all officers. I'm a proud dues-paying union member of the Oregon Nurses Association still. I understand why union contracts matter and why workers deserve due process when bargaining on contracts. In return for the investments we are making in the Portland Police Association union contract, we are buying very significant concessions. Deleting the 48-hour discussing other grievances and setting parameters for compliance with the Department of Justice settlement agreement. Thank you to the bargaining skills of Human Resources Director Anna Canwick with the support of their hands for achieving these improvements. I've visited 30 of Portland's 95 neighborhoods in the past couple of months, giving information about how the ballot measures we'll vote on in November affect Portlanders. Everywhere I go, community members are asking why their neighborhood doesn't get needed police attention. In Selwood last week, a woman walked out with me after the meeting to tell me that her son-in-law is working so many overtimes in the police bureau, he barely sees his family. It is not safe for police officers to continue to work so many hours. The chance that officers will make a terrible decision in the use of deadly force increases when they're exhausted from working too many hours. I know I was a registered nurse before I got elected for the county. I know I was less safe in my work environment when I was sleep deprived and stressed out. That reality is one of the true costs of the question on whether to delay or implement this contract. I want every neighbour in Portland to receive prompt attention when they call 911 requesting intervention by a police officer. I want every officer working in our community to promote community safety and to eliminate all disparate actions related to people of colour, people experiencing mental health illnesses, people who can't find shelter, and all the others who are disadvantaged due to the City of Portland's past and present actions. I recognise that on this vote, I'm saying no to almost everyone who has contacted me on this issue, and people that I love and value. Eleanor Roosevelt also said, Do what you believe in your heart is right, for you will be criticized as well. Fish.
Mayor Hales, at a moment like this, politicians usually say something like, that's a tough act to follow. I'll simply say it's an honor to follow Commissioner Fritz and to state my comments for the record. Because of the circumstances in which we find ourselves today, I have posted my statement on my website for those that would like to read along. And I will read it because I took time to craft these words and I want to get it right. Colleagues, let's start with something we can all agree on this morning. One of our core responsibilities is to provide adequate funding for fire and police. The community expects nothing less. And let me be clear about my values. The important work of police reform and accountability is essential to maintaining public trust and is a core responsibility of this. The people we serve expect us to invest in public safety. What does that mean? It means a prompt response to a 911 call, a firefighter in an ambulance when needed, and a personal relationship with a cop, which is the heart of community policing.
Hey, how you doing?
And that explains why, during good times and bad, this council has worked hard to protect public safety from budget cuts. The debate over this proposed police contract has been charged. I spent a lot of time listening to testimony, reading emails, and getting input from trusted friends and community leaders like Gabriel Gordley, Dr. T. Allen Bethel, and Speaker Tina Kotek. They remind me that there is history in our community to be accounted for. There are lingering trust issues, and there are unfulfilled promises of justice and reform. During my service on this council, I have been proud to support important reforms and accountability measures. This includes the Department of Justice settlement, the discipline of officers who have engaged in misconduct, a new police training facility, and proposals to reform the independent police review process. Not long ago, I spent the night on patrol with officers from the Gang Enforcement Unit. I saw firsthand their professionalism and dedication under very difficult circumstances. But they can't do their job if we don't support them. The challenge before us is a staffing shortage that is reaching crisis proportions. 911 response times are now 6 minutes or longer, putting all Portlanders at risk. Chief Marshman reports that officers cannot follow up on some 911 calls, such as thefts with no suspects, because they are responding to 35% more calls than 4 years ago. We have a shortage of 65 officers and 20 more vacancies to come this month, and the trend only gets worse. Over the next 5 years, the Police Bureau anticipates nearly 400 retirements. To address this problem, there are proposals on the table to cannibalize specialty units like Gang Enforcement and Domestic Violence Reduction Unit to get more officers on the streets. This would do violence to the spirit and the letter of community policing. It's unacceptable to me and to the people who do.
Oh, they are?
The proposed contract isn't perfect.
Hey, they're going to try to arrest you. They're going to try to arrest you now. It's escalating.
It's a public fucking building!
He's trying to escalate after. We're just standing. We haven't even moved.
There's 2 people out here, and you're harassing them. No. You need to go. You need to go. You need to be fired. Who are you?
Nothing wrong with them being here. There's nothing wrong with them being here.
Hey! Get your hands off him!
Sarah, come here.
Do that.
We need people out here.
You
Bring them out.
shouldn't do that.